When it comes to modern aerial warfare, raw technical brilliance alone doesn't make a fighter jet truly lethal. Engines, avionics, and airframe design are vital, but what ultimately determines an aircraft's combat worth is its arsenal. For the Boeing A-18 Super Hornet, that decisive edge has come from its ability to integrate cutting-edge weapons. Most recently, the introduction of the AIM-174B, a next-generation missile that promises reach, accuracy, and adaptability. But here's the real question. Can the Super Hornet, a design born decades ago, still hold its own against stealthy fifth-generation titans like the F-35 Lightning II? To answer this, we need to dive into the jet's fascinating history, its radical evolution, and its continually expanding bag of lethal tricks. The birth of the fighter mafia and the lightweight fighter revolution. The story begins in the 1960s, when U.S. military aviation found itself at a crossroads. Combat experience from Korea and Vietnam revealed that bulky, missile-heavy aircraft were underperforming against nimble opponents. In 1964, Air Force Major John Boyd and mathematician Thomas Christie created the energy maneuverability theory, a scientific method to model aerial combat performance. The theory emphasized that future fighters needed to be light, agile, and fast, with the ability to maintain the best possible balance of speed, lift, and maneuverability. Boyd's ideas attracted a group of like-minded engineers and designers who became known as the Fighter Mafia. Their philosophy? Build lightweight, affordable fighters that could win dogfights without breaking the defense budget. The Pentagon listened. In 1969, the Department of Defense funded experimental designs, kicking off what would later be called the Lightweight Fighter Program. Two prototypes rose to the top: the General Dynamics YF-16, a sleek single-engine design, and the Northrop YF-17, a twin-engine aircraft. The YF-16 won the Air Force's competition in 1975 and became the legendary F-16 Fighting Falcon. But the story didn't end there, because the Navy had its eyes on the loser. Why the Navy chose the YF-17? The U.S. Navy had serious reservations about adopting the single-engine F-16 for carrier duty, as landing on a moving flight deck in rough seas was risky enough without the danger of losing the only engine. Instead, the twin-engine YF-17 offered a safer and more reliable option for naval aviation. In 1975, the Navy turned to McDonnell Douglas, later absorbed by Boeing, to adapt the YF-17 into a rugged, carrier-capable fighter. This redesign produced the A-18 Hornet, a versatile multi-role aircraft capable of excelling in both air-to-air combat and ground attack. To meet the Navy's demanding requirements, the Hornet was equipped with reinforced landing gear and tailhooks, folding wings for efficient storage, enlarged stabilizers and wings for improved maneuverability, expanded fuel tanks, a stronger fuselage, and a cutting-edge digital fly-by-wire control system with quadruple redundancy. Entering service in the early 1980s, the Hornet quickly proved its value as a reliable, adaptable, and easy-to-maintain workhorse of the fleet. Enter the Super Hornet. By the 1990s, the U.S. Navy needed a more capable aircraft to replace its aging A-6 Intruders and A-7 Corsairs. But instead of developing an entirely new jet, engineers built a scaled-up version of the Hornet. The result was the FA-18EF Super Hornet, nicknamed the Rhino, to distinguish it from its predecessor, which officially entered service in 1999. This upgraded variant was 20% larger, with an empty weight 7,000 pounds heavier and a maximum weight 15,000 pounds greater than the original. It carried 33% more fuel, extending its range by 41% and endurance by 50%, and was powered by two General Electric F-414 engines producing 22,000 pounds of thrust each. More than just bigger and stronger, the Rhino was also smarter, featuring an open mission systems architecture that allowed seamless integration of new technologies. Unlike stealth-oriented fighters such as the F-22 Raptor, the Super Hornet's survivability relied on a reduced radar signature, advanced electronic warfare capabilities, and the use of long-range weapons to keep adversaries at bay, keeping the Rhino relevant. To keep pace with evolving threats, the Super Hornet has undergone several major block upgrades that significantly expanded its capabilities. Block 2, introduced in 2005, brought the powerful ANAP G79 active electronically scanned array radar, which allowed simultaneous air-to-air and air-to-ground targeting, as well as improved detection range and resolution. It also added the Joint Helmet-Mounted Cueing System, giving pilots the ability to launch missiles at targets far off their direct line of sight, and incorporated the Sharp Reconnaissance Pod for high-quality, all-weather tactical imaging. More recently, Block 3, delivered from 2021 onward, pushed the Rhino even further into the future. This upgrade introduced a massive 18-inch touchscreen display in the cockpit, modernized processors and mission systems, and prepared the jet for infrared search and track sensors to detect stealthy adversaries. Block 3 also ensured seamless integration of next-generation weapons, such as the AM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, cementing the Super Hornet's role as a capable frontline fighter, even in the age of stealth aircraft. The Rhino's arsenal. One of the Super Hornet's greatest strengths is its versatility and armament, with 11 hardpoints capable of carrying up to 17,750 pounds of weapons, giving it a loadout for virtually any mission. In air-to-air combat, it employs the trusted AM-9 Sidewinder for close-range dogfights, the AM-120 Advanced Medium-Range Air-to-Air Missile for beyond visual range engagements, and even the older AM-7 Sparrow, which still proves effective in electronic warfare environments. For air-to-ground and maritime missions, the Rhino can unleash the AGM-65 Maverick to obliterate armored targets, the AGM-84 Harpoon against enemy ships, and the AGM-88 high-speed anti-radiation missile to neutralize hostile radar systems. It also carries Joint Direct Attack Munition precision-guided bombs and long-range standoff weapons like Joint Standoff Weapon and Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile, designed to penetrate dense air defenses. Looking ahead, the Super Hornet is preparing to integrate even more advanced systems, including the Joint Strike Missile originally built for the F-35, the next-generation AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, and the powerful AIM-174B, which extends its reach into strategic interception roles. This ever-expanding arsenal ensures that the Rhino remains a true multi-role powerhouse capable of tackling any mission thrown its way. AIM-174B, the game changer. Unveiled on a Super Hornet wing in 2018, the AIM-174B is derived from the Navy's SM-6 naval missile. This weapon essentially transforms the Rhino into a long-range interceptor capable of engaging ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and maneuvering air threats at vast distances. When networked with platforms like the E-2D Advanced Hawkeye Early Warning Aircraft, the AIM-174B extends the Navy's protective bubble around carrier groups, providing coverage far beyond the reach of older missiles. Strategically, this capability is critical in the Pacific Theater, where China's anti-access area denial systems threaten U.S. forces. The AIM-174B gives the Navy a tool to counter long-range threats and ensure freedom of movement, particularly in scenarios involving Taiwan. And that's a wrap on the incredible journey of the Super Hornet. Do you think the AIM-174B will keep this fighter ruling the skies? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.